and gentlemen, welcome back to Fault Line on CMO TV. I'm your host, CMO. Thanks for joining us. Today we're talking about the biggest of the big deep state plays, the New World Order. Whoa, Marco Rubio, what do you call it, an orator? Woohoo! Boy, can that guy speak. Way better than J.D. Vance. So it kind of made me look as maybe this guy could be the front runner for 2028. But that's a digression. Let's talk about the real meat of this video today, which is the New World Order. You go back to September 11th, 1991, 10 years before the big day, and you've got yourself George Bush Sr. giving us the very first taste of those words, New World Order. And we've got Marco Rubio now over in Europe selling the Europeans on the notion that they should join the United States in the global takeover, a one world order, New World Order. And I got to tell you, he made a pretty compelling argument for it. In fact, when back in the day, it was like those words were so scary. And now you're almost like, well, it doesn't sound like such a bad idea. Boy, did they do a number on us, at least on me. No, it's still not a good idea. I think it's still not a good idea, folks. But let's get into this. So we've got now just chaos everywhere. It's controlled chaos. But it's chaos. Now, everything is just on a tipping point. Nothing is actually like spilled over, but it's close. We've got the markets just looking superb on paper, but it's a house of cards. And we now have the Epstein files, which shows that everybody that's holding up the market are a bunch of cannibalistic, satanic PDF files. And they run the banks, they run the hedge funds, they run all of it. So are we going to hold them accountable, or are we going to just let them go? I don't know. I think just about everybody out there, whether you're on the right or the left, just thinks we're letting them get away with it. And you could be right. All signs point to you are right. The only thing I can say is maybe there's a glimmer of hope in Trust the Plan. I made a video about Panic in D.C. and how Pam Bondi might have actually been kind of a little more stealthy than we gave her credit for with that $50,000 remark, which was so silly. And I just thought, man, these people have to be smarter than that. I mean, you go look at Biden's AG, Mayorkas, and these folks were smart. They were ruthless. They were evil, super evil, like despicable, right? But they were smart. And Pam Bondi's a smart lady. Don't think she's not. Just because she works for Trump, come on. If you're on the left and you're like, this lady's an idiot, you're being fooled. Jayapal Pramila. Well, she learned that she was being spied on when she was doing her unredacted searches, and so was everybody else, and their faces just went ghost white when they learned that. Why? Because that was the secret plan to figure out what exactly they were searching for. Was it their plans, their pals, their plays? Yes, it was. And so maybe there's a little bit more of a takedown, little reach around takedown. Could be. I think that's very possible. And I have no choice but to trust that plan, because if there ain't no plan there ain't no America here. That's just the facts. And let me tell you, that's why I have to support Donald Trump. Because these folks, these evil folks that are all up in these Epstein files, and by the way, there's lots of other Epsteins out there. Don't get me wrong, but we have this Epstein now, and he was deeply connected to so many people, Hollywood, Wall Street, the Democrats mostly. So when you take those guys, right, that makes up a large portion of what holds up our economy, what holds up Hollywood, what holds up Washington. And you start yanking at those folks and things crumble. So I don't think they can, at least reasonably, people that run the show can't just go yanking everything down as much as we'd like them to. Plus, there's probably plays at hand and ways to gain more power and they're still greedy. They're still power hungry, right? But New World Order, we're right at the precipice. And I think we're seeing a play. A good time for it. But I think this play was always the play. It was always the plan. New World Order. We've been seeing it forever. But I think it was always going to happen. It's just now we've got a new guy at the helm, Donald Trump. And I think the powers that be, or the powers that were always trying to make sure Donald Trump was not at the helm for this. I mean, we saw it over the last 10 years. They tried everything in their power to take the guy down, take the guy out. Right? And they couldn't. And they tried everything. And they're like, probably, I mean, look at Hillary Clinton actually praised Donald Trump like 2 weeks ago for something. I thought I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I mean, I thought I was living in the Twilight Zone. But it made me think, oh my gosh, if Hillary Clinton is giving Donald Trump praise for something ain't right. Okay? So are the markets crashing? Are the PDF files about to become discovered and put in Guantanamo? Or, is it panic in DC, 4D chess? Or is it just New World Order being shuffled in through all of these elite PDF files and Donald Trump is the ringleader? Now, if you're on the left, that's what you're probably thinking. Donald Trump is, just that circus ringleader, and he's got his band of PDF files behind him. Could be. Could absolutely be. But we can share one common goal. There's this whole pile of satanic, cannibalistic PDF files running everything. But here's my take. They've been running everything forever. Forever. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the JP Morgans. I mean, look at the Titanic. You think they hit an iceberg, really? You really think they hit an iceberg? Come on, go look into that. But anyway, this New World Order has always been the play, okay? And we're finally here. We're pretty close. I mean, I don't know if it's like the next few weeks, the next few months, the next few years, but we're right about there. So we got to think about how this all kind of, at least in our lifetimes, really started to bubble. And I go back to 9/11. To me, 9/11 was a time when they got us all very, very emotionally charged. And what I learned, it was early for me, which was very difficult because it was very difficult for me to learn what I learned and then share it with others. And many out there probably have very similar takes. What I learned is that, well, let me just say what happened. We got attacked. They said it was a certain type of people, these 19 people. And then we went and attacked two countries that none of those people were from, Iraq and Afghanistan. And then we got two administrations from a guy that barely won in 2000, an interesting situation in Florida. We got 2 terms of that guy. And then we had the hope, the tears. Obama, finally, a black guy, an eloquent, perfectly spoken, beautifully groomed black man, saving us, getting us out of the wars, making life great again, making America great again. Nope. 8 new wars, didn't even stop the 2 we had. What? But why didn't the left say anything? Oh, because they're feckless? Oh, because they're completely feckless? Yes, that's why. And because he's black, and if you say anything about a black person, you're classified as racist? Yep, that too. And now I see it, because, I remember, voting for Obama, and then, seeing people that didn't vote for Obama, and, everybody on the left going, oh, he's a racist because he didn't vote for Obama. That was the narrative back then. Boy, we were fooled. Obama did a great job at convincing everybody he did a great job. 2008. Just ripped the American dream out of the American people and gave it to the bankers. Clear as day. Anyway, I digress again. So 9/11 happens. We put an army. We take our beautiful, incredible, big, beautiful military, and we plant it. Where do we plant it? Right in between Iran and We're going to say Russia. Okay? Right in between Iran and Russia. One of our biggest allies. Russia. And why is, so Russia, who apparently Epstein was working for, right? According to Barry Weiss, from CBS now, just got $150 million to run that show. So I'm going to be able to say Russia. That's what I'm allowed to say. I'm not going to get in any trouble. So we put our military right in between Iran and Russia, and we gobbled up all those countries very violently. And it seemed like it was at the behest of Russia. I mean, we definitely kind of pivoted a way that we could control oil. We can control people. We can control the region. And the job well done. Pat ourselves on the back. We paid for it. So, we paid for all of it. And we paid for it with a lot of American lives, didn't we? A lot of them. Well, here we are today, 2026, and we still didn't get Iran, but we came close. And boy, have they been. They just keep getting those nuclear capabilities. They're closer than ever in 1994. Oh, they're closer than ever in 1998. They're closer than ever in 2014. They're closer than ever the whole time. Weird. What was uranium one again? Oh, yeah. Obama and Hillary Clinton had like deals to sell enriched uranium to Russia. Like literally Russia. Not what I'm talking about, but Russia. And then they like drove it across borders like illegally. But again, Donald Trump was the one that colluded with Russia. And Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation. It's weird how often Russian just interferes. It's amazing. But anyway, let's get back to the New World Order. So we're right about there. Now, will the Epstein files actually produce arrests? Will it actually, because this $50,000 Dow thing is a house of cards just waiting to crumble. Will it happen? I mean, Trump is way too egotistical to let a market crash on his watch, in my opinion. Wouldn't you think? Even if you hate him? Like, don't you agree with that? So I don't know. But wouldn't he want to also take credit for kind of stomping out all the bad people? And let's get into Trump real quick. All of the people in the Epstein files for the last 10 years, they run these Russian people. They run Hollywood, they run Wall Street, they run Washington, D.C., or at least their money does. And if you look, these are the people that have been telling us to hate Donald Trump with fervor. So I have no other choice but to trust that Donald Trump might be our only hope to get out of this stuff, to good versus evil, right? Jesus Christ is Lord. We have to take on the devil. Take the devil by the horns. Take the devil by the horns. There is a shift, light versus dark. You can be in the darkest room and have the smallest bit of light. It'll crush out all the darkness. And like we've said, right? One truth can crumble a mountain of lies. So I have no choice but to believe that maybe Donald Trump is that hope. And if he's not, and he's one of them, we're cooked. We've been cooked. And I know the left is just but you guys have just been propagandized with your emotions. You've just been played emotionally. Time after time they've told you a lie. You believe the lie, then you found out the lie, and then you believe the next lie. So your opinions don't matter because you've been duped, and you're willing to be duped again because your emotions want you to be duped, or your emotions just want them to be right about something bad about Donald Trump. So your opinions don't mean jack to me. What means something to me is that there's so many of you, and you guys vote, and you guys are also Americans, and it upsets me. It's because we should be together, but they've divided us. The Russians have divided us. They're the ones that propagandized this whole thing. We could have been something, huh? We could have been something. Anyway, New World Order right upon us. Will it crash the market? Will it just make us great? I don't know. What do you guys think? Anyway, this is Fault Line. I'm your host, CMO. Thanks for watching.